Last. Good. Good evening, happy Sunday. Welcome to the channel. First time over here, my name is Akin, ex-police, hence why I'm able to tell you about these things. Leave a like on the video, subscribe, welcome, and thanks for tuning. So, yes, in this one we are doing, I can call it a list of don'ts, things that you don't do as a newly trained police officer. Newly trained police officers. Things that you don't do as a newly trained police officer. So, I asked in a previous upload to tell me why you guys wanted to be police officers, so as to assist in being more clear when I'm, explaining these things here, I'm sharing these things with you. And, some of the reasons were expected. You have persons where you want to serve, you want to make the country better, you have that law enforcement kind of enthusiasm, right? And those are the persons who I want to talk to more than anything in this upload. Not so much the persons who want to go there, get a degree, make your life better and all that. I think we will see eye to eye. I think you guys will see eye to eye with the things that I'm about to share. So, if you already understand sorry guys. If you already understand policing culture, you know you don't take it your squaddy, you don't take it your supervisor. I mean, in law it says, anyone who is in breach, no one is bigger than the law, and whoever is in breach, you ticket them, you put them before the court and blah blah. But you save yourself a whole heap of trouble by just allowing these things to go along, right? So just take it from me. You don't, as a matter of fact, no policeman, you don't ticket them. You leave that alone. Make it go on. You understand? As one young constable in the work, you want to leave them something there alone, right? I'm going to tell us, corruption there before you come there, it's going to go there after you there. Corruption was there before you got there, and it will be there after you leave. From him name police or any kind of law enforcement, whatever, JDF or whatever, they are the road you have to patrol or stop and whatever. VCPs, don't know what they're calling them now. Nobody with the ticketing, from them identify themselves, just make them go on. JCF is an amazing organization in that if you decide to become a member or if you have interest in being a part of the JCF, it's an amazing decision, amazing experiences. I would not encourage you not to pursue these interests. However, ask me if I would go back, knowing all the things that I know now, if I would go back to being a police officer. The answer is no. Even if I never know all the things that I know now, I would have it my wish to have someone prevent me from being a police officer if I could go back. But you can't, so accept all of the things and all of that. But that is not to say the JCF is not a good place. So, yeah. The next thing, as a matter of fact, before I get into the next phase of it, I want to share a story with you. So, I was on foot patrol duties, Montego Bay, St. James, right? Was working with this constable, and he stopped a cart, man. He found ganja and offensive weapon, ratchet knife in the Rastaman possession. The charges would be possession of ganja, and depending on where he was found with it, and the amount that he had, you can charge him for dealing, possession and dealing. And the ratchet knife would be possession of unlawful or offensive weapon. Offensive weapon. So you could charge him and place him before the court for these offenses. But the officer I was working with, this is what he wanted to do. Tell the man, say, listen, give me 3,000 add and me take your things and make you go on. So me jump in now and say, this can't happen. Is either you go take one of the two options that I just explain to you. Who is either take the name of this person, seize them illegal things here, and say, listen, may I give you a chance, and when you go back to the station, you make a note of all of that. Or you can arrest the person, you charge them, and you place them before the court. No, you think that would be the right thing to do. You don't want to do that. You save yourself a whole heap of trouble in going to a supervisor that you trust and ask that you not be placed on duty with this particular police. If you make him the wiser, which is what I did, other constables that are like him, they are now going to know, and you are not going to know those constables which might not be so good for your environment, if you get what I say. So you want to go to a supervisor that you trust and ask to not be placed on duty with this officer. But you don't do what I did, right? And you definitely not go try arrest this constable, right? Being that this is the offense. More serious offense, then you definitely have to act. Now, and as I said, I talk to the person that most of all we want be a law enforcement officer. There are a whole lot more, but I think those two examples don't take it a squaddy in a situation like that. Tell whoever say no want to work on duty with whatnot. So I think that can kind of give a sense as to the line. You get me? You will see breaches like the handling of firearms and all of that where you're working at different departments. You'll see persons bend the rules. You want to leave those things alone, right? The corruption is there before you got there, and this is what you'll hear, It was there before you got there, it'll be there after you're there. So these things you save yourself a whole heap of trouble to just not see them. And I would imagine that persons who are very enthusiastic or very excited to be police officers, these are one of the things that you would want to keep right. But I'm telling you, you save yourself a whole heap of trouble by just, leaving that alone. Also, outside of the realm of police officers, you will have persons who contribute significantly to the JCF, and they believe that if they are found on the next side of the law, and again, this is also dependent on the offense, offenses such as misdemeanor, being the constable, you're just going to want to leave these things alone, right? Example, a young lady was ticketed, well, not really young lady, big woman, was ticketed at the airport. She crushed up the ticket, threw it out the window. This was a seatbelt ticket. She was not wearing her seatbelt. So because of the person who she believed that she should not be given a seatbelt ticket, she took the ticket, crushed it up, threw it out the window. She was charged for littering, brought before the court. As a matter of fact, before she was brought before the court, she had the particular constable know that this is a waste of your time. You will put this before the court and it will be thrown out. And lo and behold, that is what happened because of who she was. So in an instant like this, when the person makes themselves known because they are going to, you can ask for identification or whatnot and, warn the person and have them go on their way. So, yeah, matter was brought before the court, thrown out. Man, that dog is big. Yo, a huge dog just come right at the camera, guys. So, anyhow, matter get placed before the court, got thrown out. No explanation or whatnot given as to why the matter was thrown out, but it was thrown out. She didn't even show up at court. Her lawyer was there to say whatnot, and matter was thrown out. So, I'm using that example now to say when you meet up on these individuals, they have, because you have, the thing is, you have persons who contribute greatly to the JCF. Yes, and they feel for these misdemeanor offenses, misdemeanor meaning, say, you just probably go to court, pay one fine, and it's over with. It is better for you, being a newly trained police officer, to not have those persons know you exist, rather than to have them know you exist and have them know that, you're this kind of a police officer. You get me? The corruption, and I feel a way I say this, but a reality. The corruption will be there when you get there, and it will be there after you leave. You get me? If you don't resign or if it will be there after you leave. You get me? So, are there any other examples? I don't want to hear them, but I can't see them now. Is our next dog them? So cross the road, I'm gonna try get at him. But anyhow, where was I? Second example. So there was this car dealer in Montego Bay, St. James, right? And you know that there are conditions as to how you operate the DC plate. That's a blue plate. Some big dogs, guys. Trying not to make them distract me. They are trying not to make them distract me. There are conditions as to how you operate the DC plate. This car dealer was in breach, so he was ticketed, and instead of paying the ticket, he called the superintendent for St. James. He called the superintendent for the parish of St. James, and what the superintendent did, he called the constable in a room with the particular car dealer and the inspector for traffic. What the inspector for, I think he must see him reflection in the car. So this car dealer found himself in breach, and he was ticketed. And instead of paying the ticket, he called the superintendent for the parish of St. James, explained what had happened. The superintendent called the council private audience with the inspector for traffic. The superintendent told the inspector for traffic to deal with the ticket, and the constable was transferred. I think the argument was that the constable created some kind of problems with the relationship between the car dealer and the JCF. Not that he breached, but the relationship between the car dealer and the JCF now was, yeah. So those individuals, best to leave them alone. You don't want them create this false dossier on you. And this is the reality of the JCF, It's a corrupt environment. And it's a thing. You have persons who believe that it corrupt, it will stay corrupt, you can't do nothing about it. So, yeah, guys, those are some of the things that you leave them alone. Some of the wrongs them way I got saying, you just leave them alone. Try to stay as far as possible from them. I would have had my experiences, hence why I share these things with you guys now. So, yeah, leave these things alone. And, if you have other questions as it relates to, if you probably see something being out there as a regular civilian, and you wonder, say, hold on, how... You can definitely ask me in the comments, and I'll upload a video if I've had experiences that will, clear the air for you. Definitely ask me in the comments, and me make you know what I want. So, what else? Can I remember anything else? Yeah, for the young ladies. Well, probably one woman constable would have to advise in this field. But we are going to have some high rank police. We are going to use them rank for trying to get sexual. Well, then again, I guess that comes down to the individual and what kind of choice they want to make and if it's worth it. So I guess we can't give advice where that is concerned. So yeah, scrap that. But as far as don'ts, those are the things that you don't do. Those are some unwritten rules. If you try to take them out, my boss, you're going to make enemies, you're going to make your environment get stressful, and the whole policing thing is going to be a whole lot more difficult for you. Chaplaincy. There's a stigma where chaplaincy and therapy is concerned. Now, you would imagine that a job such as law enforcement would carry a whole lot of stress, so officers would want to, from time to time, probably get therapy. It doesn't work like that in the JCF. There is a stigma against therapy or going to see the chaplain. The same thing. So it's like the moment you go there, you're snitching on someone or some kind of problem. So you being a member of the JCF, you want to really have friends that are there for you, friends you can actually talk to, as opposed to using the chaplaincy. Now, I don't know if I mentioned it at the beginning of the video, but I was saying I don't discourage anyone from being a part of the JCF. However, knowing the things that I know, I wouldn't do the process again. I wouldn't, I wouldn't, based on my experiences, I just wouldn't. But probably there are things that other persons can appreciate. So, yeah, it's an amazing experience. I still encourage persons to be a part of the JCF. But as far as the don'ts are concerned, those are them. So, yeah, and there are a whole lot more. You don't want to be driving the same, you don't want your vehicle to cost the same with the soup. Alright, we're now go down that the line. I think we're going to get the gist right now. If you guys have any further questions, you can definitely ask in the comments. But that is it from me for now. Big up on yourself. Let's go more. All right,